2,000 kids are in foster care in New York City.
When were you first in foster care?
I came to foster care at the age of 7.
It was a long time ago, but I think I was 4 when I first got into foster care.
At the age of 14.
Did you ever knew your birth parents?
Yes, I keep in touch with my mother, but not my father.
Why did they put you in foster care?
I think my mother couldn't take care of me, and my father either.
Family could bring you joy, family can bring you pain.
Family is a place where you can go on holidays, Christmas, vacation, so far and so on, come back from college maybe, stay, and just someone that you know you could call home, and no matter what the instance, no matter good or bad, if things go bad or if you don't get along for a certain period of time, that you always can go there no matter what.
Each child had such a unique situation, but it is often frequently the case that children are replaced from home to home to home. So you can have a client who's been in, believe it or not, 20 different foster homes or 20 different placements in, say, the 10 years that they've been in foster care.
I've probably been in about 5 to 6 foster homes, about 2 or 3 hospitals, and about 2 or 3 facilities in one group home. This is the finest foster home I've been in.
I think I was in a lot when I was like a little, but I was in 2 different homes from 6 to 15, 6 to 18.
Only one. Yeah, only one.
Currently I represent adolescents in foster care, and I think most of them do know their biological families. A lot of my clients were placed voluntarily by their families.
Even though I'm not allowed to bump into see my mother and my father, I bump into them from time to time, and I talk to them, whatever. So whenever I bump into them, I maintain a little relationship with them. So
kids know who loves them. You know, your mom may be very problematic, may not be a great mom, but there's a sense of the kids that that's my mom, and it's very strong, and it gets very much stronger at the teenagers.
Over 90% of all young people in foster care or youth, so I'm talking 14 and over, return to their bio families at discharge, no matter what their goal was.
They become often very angry about the placement event itself.
Some of them want to treat you very badly, belittle you, and because they always told us, you're not my parents, you're not my mom.
I was in a foster home one time, and I was one of the main foster homes I was in. I've been there twice, but I was really bad, and one time where they had to take me out because I had threw a brick one time, but I didn't know where I threw the brick at.
Around 80% of children who are going through the foster care program end up having severe mental health issues in New York.
They tend to develop some psychiatric disorders, you know, their anxiety is high, depression is high, and externalizing, what is called externalizing, acting out behaviors.
They had me on medication because they felt I had a disorder. I think it was ADHD.
Mostly kids in therapeutic, they are prescribed, to be on medication and stuff, but I don't have to see a psychiatrist anymore because I'm on medication.
Well, as I got older, I realized I don't really need medication because regardless if I'm on it or not, I'm going to act the same way.
Well, see, that's your typical example as to how is it that the field really needs more information about how to sort out those kids that are really truly ADHD from those that are just going through an adjustment.
What was that statistic we saw about the post-traumatic stress?
Oh, yeah.
Youth in foster care they're twice as likely as I think war veterans to have
Post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Only 23% of children who were in foster care at least 12 months received mental health services.
Now, in New York City right now, everything's so much under the gun due to budgets and mandates and God knows what else all, that I'm not sure what the job is, what type of job we're doing any longer.
1/3 of the kids aging out in New York City have mental problems. 24% of those become homeless.
Our clients are strapped with so many difficulties, and it's such a struggle for them that unfortunately most of them do end up in homeless shelters. A lot of them end up incarcerated. There's an overrepresentation of minorities in foster care in the juvenile delinquency system. It's just so glowing that you can't miss it. I mean, poverty begets foster care.
There has talked about the International Children's Rights Bill. Do you know about that?
Yeah.
We haven't signed it yet, right, as a country? We're one of 2 countries in the entire world who have not signed that. So when you talk about rights and you talk about foster care or whatever, you have to understand in this country children have very few rights.
Adolescents in foster care have several legal rights. All children in foster care obviously have the right to be safe. That is one of the most significant rights that young people or children in foster care have a right to. They also have a right to visit with their families. They have a right to receive an education. They have a right to be assisted with any job placement that they want. They have a right to be assisted with housing as they begin to age out of care and turn 21. And they have a right to know what's going on in their case.
I really had no say in it. They just said that they was going to place me in a home and you would stay there. That's all they told me. I was like, okay. I was little. I mean, I didn't know what was going on, so I can't really say nothing.
And I also had the choice of being adopted or not, which I didn't choose to be adopted.
I did, and I still do feel like I have choices given to me while I'm in care, foster care.
The reason why I came to the system was because when I was little, I think I was in like probably when you were 7th, what grade you were? You were about the first, I was in about the 2nd grade. I was in 2nd grade, and my mother was going out with a guy at the time, and one time I didn't come home. But from my understanding, the reason why I didn't come home, because the area I was living in, there was Latin Kings at the time and all that, and I was in uptown Bronx. And I thought I heard gunshots and I ran back to the school, but from their point of standing that I lied and I went back to the school and everything, which is the part I'm confused about. But anyway, her boyfriend had beaten me and didn't tell her with a belt and didn't tell her. So what happened was I went to school the next day, took off my sweater because I was hot, and the teacher seen all the marks. So they had removed me from my home that same day. And ever since I've been around the system.
I think the biggest misconception about foster care is that people truly believe if we take children out of troubled homes and put them in foster care, then all the problems are going to be fixed, and that's just not true.
We fail for too many kids. I feel that if foster care fails for one child, it fails for too many. And so I think the foster care system as a system needs to improve. We need to keep kids in the same foster homes, so we need to screen foster parents more efficiently. We need to support the foster parents more efficiently.
I would fund it. I think the biggest problem with foster care, the child welfare system, the juvenile delinquency system, all the systems that sort of come in and out of family court is that it's underfunded. And we have too high caseloads, lawyers have too high caseloads, caseworkers have too high caseloads, judges have too high caseloads.
You're asking really the wrong person. I've been in this so long. I mean, I don't know what the solution is. I don't. You can go back and forth around it. The best solution would be to keep kids out of foster care.
I would change having so many youth in foster care. The reason why is because a lot of reasons why youth are in care are not that they're not realistic, but they shouldn't be in because they're very minor.
They just tell me stuff and don't tell them nothing, and I'm expected to tell them more. That's bad communication.
We would like to know everything that we as foster parents can focus upon that and deal with that step by step with the child and say, look, I know you went through this and you think we are the same thing. We are not the same thing. All we want to do is to help you, point you in the right direction.
The foster care is really long and complicated, and it's still not clear to me to this day. But you know, everybody tells me to leave it in the past. That's the past. Well, my past leads to my future, and this is what my future is. So I can't really forget something if it involves my future.
And some of them are successful and they can go to college and they live in the dorms, or they age out and they find their own apartment and
Yeah,
they work.
school's reasonable for me, but what my whole point of going to Job Corps is just in case if, you know, I try the entrepreneur thing and God forbid, I hope it does work out, but if it doesn't work out the way I want it, I have a trait to fall back on.
Well, when I was in elementary school, I met this teacher that we became really close. We still keep in touch to this day, and I really loved helping people and teaching kids. I really liked, just being around kids. And I want to be an English teacher, and I've just always been good at that.
My goals are I'd like to go to college, I'd like to go to law school and become a lawyer.
Don't let anything get in your way of, following your dreams. Just do whatever you can to reach your goals. Don't let anyone negatively influence you, Well, the youth in foster care, I would want them to know that if I can come this far, so can they. They can do anything they want, whether they're in the foster care system or not. Especially if they're in the foster care system.
You can close your eyes and see the picture perfect life inside of your mind, dreaming only of the days ahead, wanted and wished for more than now, or the days behind. You waste your time. The picture makes a promise, the flash lets it be broken. The picture makes a promise, the flash lets it be broken. You can never think, you can't even stop yourself before the words have been spoken. You've already said you would give everything and something for nothing. Everybody thinks you're joking.